All right, segment 7 of 7, the finale. If you've watched these, thank you. I hope it's been a support or a challenge, whatever's necessary, or maybe some of both. I hope I've sought to not intentionally be too in your face, but some things need to be discussed, and so I hope I'm inviting and stirring conversation. So let's jump into this last one. The police. Now, I've known law enforcement officers my entire life. I have known and still know some lawyers. I have actually known a few judges personally. And I can say of the whole lot, great people, really good people, loving people, peaceful people. I don't know about you, I have called law enforcement in the past in need of their help. I have relied upon their services for my safety and the safety of others, and will continue to do so. I've also heard recently some people overstating unnecessarily that there is no problem with the police. Unnecessary. Also wrong. Because truth of the matter is, there absolutely are some bad actors out there. Some people who probably never should have been law enforcement in the first place, or never should have been practicing law in the first place. And they should be reprimanded. They should be removed in a lot of cases. They should be charged if they are committing crimes. And here's the crazy thing. All the law enforcement officers I know, and lawyers and judges, they have no problem with those statements, right? Because they got into their chosen professions because of who they were and who they wanted to help. It's kind of like, forgive me for introducing another issue, but it's like when I talk to educators and administrators in public school systems. They got into their profession because of a passion they had for education and wanting to help people, and yet almost, if not everyone, I've heard speak about the system, right? That it needs to be overhauled, that it needs to be changed, that there are bad teachers, bad administrators, right? They love being teachers, they love being administrators, but there are people who should not be doing those things, and the system has become something that it didn't used to be. Same thing in law enforcement. In fact, one of my good friends, just the best guy, works for Metro PD. Oh my goodness. Was in a conversation with him once, and he made the comment, maybe I should have been a firefighter. And I looked at him and I said, dude, you could not have been that. Being a cop, that's who you are, not what you do. So he's one of those guys. He is a cop's cop. And he tells people, if you can do something else, do it. Not because it's not an honorable profession, but because the system is not what it used to be, and it's really tough these days. So yeah, there's problems in police. There always have been, right? It's people. Bunch of sinful people. How could there not be problems? So those need to be addressed. Some departments need to be overhauled top to bottom, no doubt. Again, so far I've said nothing that my law enforcement friends would not agree with. Now here's something that I'll say that some of them probably won't say, maybe publicly, for fear of whatever. I fear for the lives and the livelihoods and the families of my friends who are law enforcement officers. I fear for the officers that I don't know, for the lawyers, for the judges, who are caught up in this system that is, folks, it is broken. The justice system is less and less just the longer we go on, right? Needs to be addressed. That's possible. We can do that, right? But denying that there are problems, denying that there are real dangers, not only to our society, but to individuals who are only desiring to do what is right and what is just, and would never participate or overlook many of the atrocities that we have seen. They need our support. They need our vocal support. They need our help advocating for right and good change. And you know, every department, state, local, audit needs to be, I assume they are, I hope they are paying attention and being cautious and really looking inside. Because you know, the slogan, the movement today, defund the police, abolish the police. Well, there are some who are actually advocating for an abolishment of the police. I just don't take that seriously. That's foolishness. But there are a great many people, if you didn't know, who are using the slogan defund the police to actually mean not abolishing the police. The language is problematic. That ship has sailed. What they are advocating for with this slogan, whether you agree with the use of those words or not, sometimes there are a lot of great things, like cops shouldn't be doing all they're being asked to do right now, and that's absolutely true. We have a real gap of mental health care in this. There's no system in place. There's no nothing, and so cops fill the gap. Cops fill the gap for social workers, and that's not a condemnation of social workers. I'm saying the system's busted. Cops are in places doing things that they never should have had to do. They're stretched thin. That doesn't excuse wrong policies. That doesn't excuse unjust treatment. That doesn't excuse the absolute over-the-top violent nature that some officers, far too many officers, have shown. But as a whole, this is a systemic problem. It's not just about individuals. And so police officers, lawyers, judges need our support. Bad actors need to go. Bad policies need to go. Things need to change. But please, please, don't ratchet up what has been over the last couple years at least, this anti-police, anti-cop, anti-law enforcement officer, anti-law speak that is dangerous and puts people in clashes that they never should have been in. Let's seek to de-escalate. Let's address what needs addressing, but let's seek to de-escalate. And my prayers, again, for every law enforcement officer on the job today are that you will be kept safe. And my prayers for the public around you are that you would act rightly and justly, and they would be safe from you. I pray for both. I pray for peace. But I love my brothers and sisters in blue, as it were. And I just want to say, in all this, we need to address what needs to address. We need to support people who need support. And right now, since this is the sort of conclusion of today, right now, we need to be looking towards the black community in support. And we need to be looking to the police community in support. And let's talk. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk with each other. Let's talk to each other. And let's see what maybe we can get accomplished.